Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Dallas, Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. The buzz around the NFL right now, especially among Cowboys fans, is centered on a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the NFC East's defensive landscape. Rumors are swirling that the Dallas Cowboys are eyeing a big move for Antoine Winfield Jr., the talented safety from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. According to whispers from sources like Diana Rossini, the Bucs are in a bit of a transitional phase, sitting at 9-8 after a season that saw them bounce between hope and disappointment. Now, with the team reevaluating their roster post-Mayfield and trying to reset for the future, they're reportedly open to trading Winfield Jr. in exchange for some mid-round draft picks, specifically a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a third-rounder in 2027. This strategic move would give Tampa Bay some cap relief, especially with the cap hit for Mike Evans looming large. Plus, it sets the stage for a rebuild built around youth and draft capital. Now, for Cowboys fans, this isn't just about acquiring another safety. It's about adding a versatile, game-changing playmaker to a secondary that's been looking for stability and a spark. Winfield Jr. isn't just your average safety. This guy's a true Swiss Army knife on defense, capable of covering deep passes, blitzing, and making tackles like a wall. His career stats are impressive. Nearly 400 tackles, 15 interceptions, 45 pass deflections, and 7 sacks, all while maintaining a PFF grade of 90. 2 and an elite coverage EPA of -0.15 per snap. He's the kind of player who elevates the entire defense, reminding many of Minkah Fitzpatrick's rise in Pittsburgh back in 2019 when he turned the Steelers' defense into a top-tier unit with 11 INTs that season. Imagine Winfield lining up in Dallas, bringing his versatility and leadership to a secondary that's been playing with fire, especially against deep passes. His ability to cover downfield, combined with his tackling prowess and leadership qualities, could be exactly what the Cowboys need to take their defense to the next level. Think about how he could help reduce the number of explosive plays allowed, especially against NFC East rivals like the Commanders, who have a prolific passing attack led by Sam Howell and a bevy of talented receivers. Winfield's presence could be the difference in some of those crucial divisional matchups, helping the Cowboys tighten up in the secondary and shift the momentum in their favor for the upcoming season. The Cowboys, currently sitting with about $23 million in cap space, are also looking at restructuring deals like that of Hooker to free up even more room. Acquiring a player of Winfield's caliber would not only bolster their defense, but also send a message that Dallas is serious about defending their NFC East crown and making a deep playoff run. The team's defensive coordinator has been emphasizing the importance of versatility and playmaking, and Winfield fits that mold perfectly. His ability to adapt to multiple roles in the secondary, combined with his knack for making key turnovers, averaging around 7 interceptions per year, could be the X-factor Dallas needs to turn a good defense into a great one. Let's not forget, the Cowboys are coming off a season where their defense showed flashes of brilliance, but also faced moments of inconsistency. Adding Winfield Jr. could be a game-changer, especially when facing high-powered offenses like those of the Giants or the Commanders, who are investing heavily in their passing game. Winfield's knack for forcing turnovers and his capability to cover tight ends or slot receivers makes him a perfect fit for the Cowboys' defensive philosophy. His YAC allowed per play is just 30 yards, showcasing his ability to prevent big gains after the catch, a crucial aspect when facing the NFC East's explosive offenses. Now, looking at Tampa Bay's perspective, they're in a bit of a rebuild mode. The cap situation for the Bucs isn't ideal. They're projected to save around $5 million in 2026 by trading Winfield now. After a season that saw their backfield leak almost 240 yards per game through the air, they're prioritizing offensive line upgrades, especially after losing Wirfs. Trading Winfield for draft capital makes sense for Tampa, giving them the flexibility to rebuild around their core and focus on future assets. Plus, The hype around Derwin James last year boosted the Chargers' secondary, with James himself racking up 11 INTs in 2024. Tampa might see Winfield as a piece to rebuild their defense, especially given his elite coverage grades. PFF rated him at 91.6, and his ability to avoid big plays, making him a valuable asset for any team looking to strengthen their back end. On the other side, for the Cowboys, this move isn't just about filling a hole, it's about creating a true difference maker. Winfield's potential addition could be viewed as the final piece in a puzzle that the Cowboys are assembling to sustain their championship window. His leadership combined with his stats, 7 INTs per year, a significant boost in coverage efficiency, and a knack for forcing turnovers, could give the Cowboys that extra edge they've been seeking. It's reminiscent of how Minkah Fitzpatrick's arrival in Pittsburgh helped elevate the Steelers' defense, turning them into a more aggressive and opportunistic unit. The Cowboys are also looking at their long-term prospects, and acquiring a player like Winfield might be the move that pushes them over the edge, especially if they can keep their core players healthy and improve their pass rush. And let's talk about the division for a moment. The NFC East is no joke. Teams like the Giants and Commanders are investing heavily in their passing game, and the Eagles remain a powerhouse. To beat these teams consistently, Dallas needs to tighten up in the secondary and reduce the big plays. Winfield Jr. could be that game-changing safety who steps in and makes immediate impact, boosting the team's turnover rate and coverage efficiency. His ability to read plays and make split-second decisions is exactly what the Cowboys need to contain the NFC East's offensive weapons. Plus, his experience and leadership would be invaluable in the locker room, especially as Dallas looks to build on last season's playoff appearance and aim for even greater heights. Now, of course, nothing is set in stone yet, but the signs point toward a serious possibility that this trade could happen. The Cowboys are always aggressive when it comes to adding playmakers, especially on defense, and Winfield Jr. fits that profile perfectly. He's young, talented, and hungry, exactly the kind of player who can help Dallas re-establish their defensive dominance. If this move comes to fruition, it could be the kind of strategic upgrade that takes the Cowboys from good to great, from playoff contenders to Super Bowl favorites. With Winfield's versatility, leadership, and playmaking ability, Dallas could be looking at a defense that's not just solid but downright intimidating. Moreover, this potential trade underscores the Cowboys' commitment to building a championship-caliber roster. They've shown in recent years that they're not afraid to make bold moves if it means improving their chances of hoisting the Lombardi Trophy once again. The fans have been craving that magic again, and adding a player like Winfield Jr. could be the spark needed to ignite a new era of Cowboys dominance. It's not just about one player, though. It's about the message it sends. Dallas is serious, and they're willing to go all in for another shot at the Super Bowl. As we look ahead to the draft and free agency, this situation could evolve rapidly. The Cowboys might use their draft capital to sweeten the deal, or Tampa Bay could hold out for even more. But one thing is clear. The Cowboys are eyeing a big upgrade in their secondary, and Winfield Jr. is at the top of their list. If they pull this off, it will be a move talked about all season, a statement that Dallas is back in the business of winning championships. The NFC East is about to get even more intense, and Cowboys fans should be excited about what this could mean for their team's future. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking at the bigger picture, acquiring Winfield Jr. would send a strong message to the rest of the league. It signals that Dallas is serious about contending now and that they're willing to be aggressive in pursuit of greatness. His arrival could serve as a catalyst for the entire defense, inspiring the secondary to elevate their game and creating more turnovers, something the Cowboys have desperately needed. It also helps that Winfield's skill set aligns perfectly with the Cowboys' defensive philosophy: aggressive, versatile, and opportunistic. His addition could help reduce the number of deep passes allowed, which was a sticking point last season, especially against teams like the Commanders and the Eagles, who have potent passing offenses. Furthermore, from a leadership perspective, Winfield Jr. brings a level of maturity and football IQ that can help young players develop and elevate the whole unit. His presence on the field and in the locker room could prove invaluable as Dallas prepares for another playoff push. Fans should remember that the Cowboys have a talented roster, but a few key improvements, especially in the secondary and along the pass rush, could be the difference between an early exit or a deep run into February. And let's not forget, this potential move also impacts the team's cap management. With about $23 million in space, Dallas has some flexibility to make strategic restructures, like extending or restructuring contracts, to fit Winfield's salary into the mix. This kind of flexibility allows the team to be both aggressive now and position themselves well for future seasons. The Cowboys have always been smart with cap management, and adding Winfield Jr. would be a smart investment in their championship ambitions. Looking at Tampa Bay, this trade makes sense from their perspective as well. The Buccaneers are heading into a rebuild, and trading Winfield Jr. for draft picks helps them accumulate assets to build around their young core. They're also prioritizing offensive line upgrades after losing Wirfs and trying to improve their defense by trading a key piece like Winfield. The projected cap savings for Tampa Bay are significant, around $5 million in 2026, giving them breathing room to make strategic moves in the draft and free agency. Plus, the hype around Derwin James and other top safeties has increased the value of a dynamic player like Winfield, who can be a cornerstone for a rebuilding team. For Cowboys fans, this potential trade represents an exciting opportunity. It's a chance to add a player who can make game-changing plays, elevate team performance, and bring a renewed sense of confidence to the secondary. The NFL is a league where a single player can make a huge difference, and Winfield Jr. has the talent and mentality to be that guy for Dallas. His style of play, aggressive, smart, and versatile, fits perfectly with the Cowboys' defensive identity, which has been built around creating turnovers and disrupting opponents' rhythm. In the end, whether this trade materializes or not, it highlights how Dallas is always looking for ways to improve. Fans should be optimistic, knowing that the front office is actively working to assemble a roster capable of competing at the highest level. Winfield Jr. could be the piece that tips the scales, turning the Cowboys' defense into a nightmare for opposing offenses and setting the foundation for a new era of dominance. The NFC East is about to get even more exciting, and the Cowboys are right in the middle of it, hungry to claim their spot at the top once again. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Winfield Jr. is the right fit for Dallas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news.